5 things that I learned from Veda. Hi, you're here with Just Maria D. It is indeed Maria D. So last month was, I was going to say Vlogmas once again. I don't know why I keep calling it Vlogmas. Was Veda, vlog every day in April. And Swathi over at Absolutely Creative, I hope I've got your name right, asked me lessons that I had learned from Veda. What did Veda teach me? What did I get out of it? And I thought that would be a great video for my That Thursday vlog. Okay, number 1. What has Veda taught me? Well, that vlogging in cars is hard work. That when it comes to editing, you're vlogging in cars, unless you use something like Audacity to separate the sound from your voice, from the sound of the engine, which can be extra work, then it is a very, very difficult place to vlog. I find that when I'm editing back, the noise of the air conditioner, the noise of the engine, the rattle of supports that phones and cameras and stuff go on, don't lend itself to very good vlogging. And I've got a bit of a guilty conscience about vlogging on the go, actually. The laws here in the UK are quite strict about mobile phone usages in cars. I guess Veda has taught me that it's not really something I want to do, and I only tend to do it these days if Joey is in the car with me and is talking to the camera himself. Veda taught me that vlogging in cars is difficult to edit. The second thing that Veda taught me was to try and work on getting my lighting better. I have a son who streams via Twitch fairly regularly, and he's forever talking to me about my lighting. So I just want to give you a bit of an example. So I'm vlogging in my hallway, which by actually all reports is quite a light place to vlog in terms of the atmosphere. So just, but you can see if I turn that way, while the background's not as good, the lighting is better. Okay, so can you see the different, and if I have it coming through my front door directly on my face, that is different again. Just to really try and work on the lighting in my videos to try and get a better effect. Now, I don't always get that right, but it is something that doing Veda has made me more conscious of. Another thing that Veda taught me was to try and tell a story a little bit more in my vlogs. That it's good to show everyday life and it's good to show everyday activities, and I think that that is really important when you are telling your story of who you are. But to think of it in terms of a story. So not so much just to pick up the camera and say, oh, today we're making strawberry gin, but to kind of take people along on a bit of a journey, or to inject a bit of humor, or find a unique way of presenting your information, I suppose. So for me, some of the cooking things that I did, experimenting with different ways of doing that, they're just everyday, mundane family recipes. But was there a way I could inject a bit of humor into it? Was there a way I could sing some stupid songs, or I don't know, just really made me think of trying to not jazz up the mundane for the sake of it, but to try and create a little bit of a story around this thing that was just an everyday life event. And following on from that, so the other point that I would take away from that as well, which is along the line of the story as well, is to think about my vlogs a little bit more. I found this when I did the crocky trail video, actually, that I'd kind of got to the end of the day and I'd had all this footage of just kind of mishmash footage of our visit to the crocky trail. As I sat down to edit it, I just thought, man, I wish I'd really thought about this when I got up this morning about how I was going to do this video. So not just putting random pieces together, but how am I going to start it? How am I going to end it? How am I going to talk about it during the day? Or how can I do that when there are people around me and I feel a bit self-conscious? Are there ways that I can counteract that? So I think that Veda really taught me to think perhaps a little bit more about the videos that I wanted to make. So maybe on a day out, or the circus camp, for instance, how I could have storyboarded that better to really make it about the whole experience rather than just, hey, we're at camp kind of thing. So not to manipulate the story and to change it into something that it wasn't, but from a cinematography point of view, perhaps how could I bring in extra shots? How could I welcome you to the journey through creative footage? How can the music impact on that? And how can I turn this event into a story, which is similar to the last point, but this one's more about creating a story around an event. The other's more about how can I make something a little bit more mundane, a bit more fun, I guess. Very similar points about similar things, but slightly different. And the last thing that Veda taught me was to plan. To make sure you sit down and work out the days that you have things that you can just automatically put in. So days out that you've got planned for the month, celebrations that you can do, special family meals that maybe you can bring into it, collaborations, definitely join in on collaborations. In fact, one of my goals in the next couple of months is to do more collaborations, because I'm finding that the way YouTube works at the moment is very unsatisfying. The way that people grow channels now than when YouTube first started is a very unsatisfying process as a creator. And I don't know that I want to buy into that too much more, because I'm finding a lot of discontent, and I am striving for authenticity, and I'm feeling very inauthentic about that process. I feel let down when I look at my analytics and people who've told me that they've watched my video haven't. I feel let down that people who are supposed to have watched my video, because we may have made an agreement that I would watch theirs, haven't. And I don't think that's a way to do life. Like, I don't make friends that way. I don't do anything else in my life that way. And so I'm finding the journey towards how do I do YouTube authentically and grow my channel, and how do I do that when everybody else is doing this other thing, you know? So I am hoping in the next couple of months to rein myself back in, that's a calming breath, and start to focus more on collaborations and community, which was originally what I set out to do when I joined loads of groups, to not get caught up in analytics and, you know, who is watching and who isn't. Like, that's making me a cynic, and it's making me not like people and it's making me think that people are liars and inauthentic, and I don't want to live like that. Like, you know, I don't want to live like that. So yeah, collaborations I think are definitely a great way forward. And so if you are someone who likes to collaborate, my pink windows are making me pink. And so if you are somebody who likes to collaborate, then yeah, I'm your girl. Come and speak to me. We might be able to do something together. Anyway, I have been Maria. You have been awesome. And that's 5 things that I learned from Veda. I don't know whether I mentioned that at the start. 5 things that I learned from Veda. All right, catch you on the flip side. Bye.